Hello, everybody.
Welcome back.
What?
Hello.
Hey, welcome back. So, as you can tell by the title, in this video, we are going to be teaching you 10 Anthropologie brands that you didn't know.
What happened to my hair?
You look like you got hit by a basket.
I did not. I just haven't showered.
So, we're going to be teaching you 10 Anthropologie brands that we have found over
the course of our thrifting
that Anthropologie sells, maybe not exclusively, but they've definitely had more than one piece. We had something on here that was only
I'm sorry, I look terrible. I'm having a really bad hair day today.
We had one brand on here, that Tiger Lily brand, if you remember. Ryan found a dress by it, but Anthro has only sold that one piece by them.
It's literally the only one
so we didn't want to include that. These are all brands that Anthro has at least sold like a good handful of pieces by them.
We'll say at least 6.
Yes.
Minimum.
So if you find them, definitely look them up. Make sure that they are not Anthro before you pass on them. Some of them you should get even if they're not Anthro. But these can be Anthro, and it's always good to list things as Anthro if they are. So we're going to start off with number 1. Corey Lynn Coulter.
Cute.
I'm going to be putting the labels here so you can see what the label looks like, and then we're going to be describing the kind of things that they sell. So Corey Lynn Coulter, if you guys remember that blazer that I really, really, really loved, that was like floral. I put it in my 10 items that I'd keep if I was in a Posh Man video, and then someone bought it like the next day. Rude, but like also thank you.
Hope you enjoy your new garment.
Her pieces are a lot of prints, a lot of very, very cute, colorful prints.
A lot of dresses.
There's some with animals. There's a lot with like botanicals or florals. She mainly does dresses, but as you saw in that video, like she does blazers. Like we said before, Denali El Ducho wore a Corey Lynn Coulter dress to Posh Fest.
Oh, it was so cute.
It said like Fiesta on it. And that one, isn't that what it said? I think so. Or it said something like that.
It was
I think it did, because she had a little sombrero and it said like Fiesta.
I forgot. Oh my god, Denali. Bring back the little sombrero.
That was not printed, so like not everything by her is printed, but mainly her things are printed. I think I found her twice, and they've been super vibrant.
I have a gingham dress by her.
Yeah.
Which is not like crazy print, it's just gingham.
Yes. Like most of the brands on this list, her stuff is crazy expensive, so like it sells for a lot. It's not just like Maeve, it's not just like Daletta, like it'll sell for a lot. Moving on to the next one.
Okay, next is Kavita by Chia.
I think that's how it's pronounced. The label's here, so you can figure that out.
It took me too long to figure out how to pronounce that.
It's not burrito.
You should do bloopers.
Oh gosh.
Okay, I found this.
An Iowan trying to pronounce a probably like Middle Eastern name.
Bad,
burritos.
Not good. I found this brand once in the bins. So cute. She makes a lot of like, everything she makes is silk. A. B. A lot of like dresses and tank tops or like very flowy things. Everything is very like fluid. It's very fun. She does a lot of florals and a lot of geometric patterns that kind of like intermingle together. They're really pretty, and she's wicked expensive. She's very, very,
she's
very
so it makes sense that she's so expensive. Yeah. What sets her apart from kind of, because a lot of these are printed brands, they do a lot of prints. She does do a lot of geometric.
God, we just can't talk
like
today.
Chunks of patterns like all over. So.
It's really pretty.
Next up is Byron Lars. We did a live show and we were asking what brands you guys thought we should put in this, and someone did say Byron Lars, and thank you for reminding me of them. So Byron Lars is like a really expensive kind of formal-ish wear / like going to dinner with your hubby type stuff. Very intricate lace dresses. Usually they're kind of mini length.
They're all kind of the same silhouette.
They're very similar. They tie at the waist a lot. They're very kind of like boxy with like cap sleeves or no sleeves. Lots of lace. Like mainly it's lace. Tie waist, formal, very expensive. Very expensive because formal things are always super expensive. And he uses a lot of black and white. I have once found Byron Lars. I didn't know if it was Anthro, but Real takes Byron Lars too. So because Byron Lars on his own, super expensive.
Is insane.
It's just sometimes sold Anthro, but like either way, you should probably get it. Like,
and he makes
it's crazy
Barbie
expensive.
doll clothes. Okay, next is Raga. Raga. This might be an acronym for something. That's all very like a really high end Free People. Is how I'm going to describe it. It's so expensive.
Specifically their Anthro pieces.
Retail.
Because this is one that definitely has stuff on the side that's not just Anthro. But the stuff for Anthro is like very Free People-esque.
But like Free People's hot older sister, because it's expensive.
Free People's
it's
mom,
so
who
expensive.
like gives her all her money to go buy her stuff with. She's like, yeah.
So the regular stuff is a lot of neutrals. The stuff for Anthro is very, very, very printed and very colorful.
Very like extravaganza, like boho extravaganza, like yeah.
It's pretty.
They do make more like white lace or like cream.
Yeah,
tops,
they have a lot of neutrals.
but usually
that's not the stuff Anthropologie people are buying.
Still expensive. I get it either way, so like probably get it either way. But like the Anthro pieces are very like extravagant boho.
Yes.
Next up is a brand called Marrakesh.
Not the city in Morocco.
No, Marrakesh basically only makes jackets. I think they might only make jackets, but
I think they do.
Majority of them are like moto jackets. They use a lot of like suede or like suede-esque. Like it looks like suede, feels like suede, ultra suede type stuff. I have once found this brand and it was like a ultra suede jacket. Very nice. And they are really, really expensive. And mine actually sold pretty quick for like $100.
It was a cute little jacket.
But I mean, he does do, we were just doing our research on it. He does do like shearling. He does do...
Oh, there's a Sherpa.
I mean Sherpa. Oh. He does do Sherpa. He does probably like linen moto jackets, like, but it's a lot of like moto jackets.
Next is Ava Franco. She does a lot of like, I call them kind of like, they look like 50s inspired prints. A lot of like sherbety colors mixed with like silvers and that kind of thing. And they're all really cute. I have one new tags piece listed now that would be perfect for spring. She does a lot of prints. Like almost
definitely not all
just
like what you said. Like she does her handful of florals and stuff.
Oh
too.
well, yeah, obviously she's an Anthropologie lady. Okay, so she does do a lot of like laser cut moments.
The one that I've had was like a very like blush pink, and it was like a full laser cut like botanical dress.
It's pretty.
Gosh, it was so cute.
And it sold.
It sold very fast. Once again, like her stuff is like with most of these, crazy expensive. Some top tier Anthro stuff, like $230, $250.
She does do a lot of dresses and tops mainly, but she does do like some pants and some skirts.
Yeah. The next brand is one that I just recently found for the first time, and it is called Folk by Hansel for Basil. I had never heard of it before. I've never seen anyone say anything about it. I think they also at Anthropologie sell Hansel for Basil, so Folk might be a different line. But what they do is mainly sweaters with patterns like knit into it. And sometimes it's just like a shape knit into it, or like a big picture or like design
of some sort.
Like there's one that has a big cat on it.
Oh, there's one that looks like the Fantastic Mr. Fox.
There's one that has a big swan on it. So a lot of animals too, which I mean,
okay,
again, get that either way. Even if it wasn't Anthro, like they're really cute. So yeah, mainly sweaters. I think I did see one dress, but it's a majority sweaters.
Was it a knit dress?
No. It was like nothing like the rest of the stuff. It was weird.
Next is Rena Gill.
I always say Rena Gill.
Rena Gill. She is like $278 at the lowest. She is very expensive. She only really ever makes dresses, but every now and again there's like a top or something.
And they're maxis a lot.
They're usually like full length, like she says, to the floor. They're very, very, very either heavily embellished or heavily printed. And they all kind of have like a top and then like a big flowy like skirt. The ones that I've seen.
She does a lot of that, like, we know nothing about like dress
it's like a
terminology.
It's not a bustier.
But where it's like form fitting at the top and the like waist down is like...
It's not an empire waist though, because you don't look like the Barbie stuck in the cake. Not that.
But she's had a few mini dresses too. It's not just maxi, but it's mainly maxi. And she's very similar to the Raga dresses for Anthro, where it's like Free People's mom. Like it's like boho. Like she is like the queen of like the hippie mom club. Like
I'm obsessed.
Yes. And the ninth one is a brand called Sarah Ball Photography. There are not a ton of pieces done by this brand, but I'm pretty sure every piece she ever did was directly for Anthro. They must have like had a contract with her or something.
Had a little moment with Miss Sarah.
But she must be a photographer, and the pieces are legitimately pictures printed.
They took her photography and printed them on clothes.
She took her photography.
I can't.
There's like a picture of a cabin. There's like a picture of like a forest.
There's like a pink somewhere.
There's a picture of a couple buildings, and some of the pieces are like chunks, like the picture is printed over and over. I'm not like a photographer, I don't know like what that means. Like
it's like
the picture's here, it's here, it's here, it's here. Yeah, like it's
in like
a bunch of the little like
a grid.
It's like color block, but it's pictures. And then some of them, it's literally like the one piece I found. The whole thing is just the one picture of like the house,
but not like, you know, we've all seen those like cheapy China shirts that are just like one big photo printed all over it. No, they're done very well.
Yes,
they're
very clear print of like, mine was like a pink house with like
it's pretty.
A forest
A
behind
little blue door.
Yeah,
it's cute. Okay, next, I feel like this one is a little bit more common compared to some of the others. It's White and Warren. They do a lot of sweaters.
That's
lot
like
of knits.
All they do is sweaters.
And all the materials are very like, it's like a cashmere and like wool made from animals that isn't quite cheap
like
all the time.
merino wool and like alpaca.
They do. I only ever do sweaters. They do a lot of like. It's a little more like toned down compared to some of the Anthro stuff. It's very like color block with like a gray and a beige. It's not very like. It's like what hippie mom wears when she got to go to the cabin.
Yeah, it's like stripes. It's like just bars. It's just like maybe a couple squares. Like it's very not intense.
Like heavily printed. And they do some like knit accessories. Like I know I've seen a pair of their like mittens
and then
on the Anthro website, and they do scarves.
They do have, Anthro has quite like a few scarves by them. Their stuff, again, it's like insanely expensive.
God, it's so crazy.
Mainly because they use like only cashmere
Bougie
and wool
materials.
and really intense fabrics. But White and Warren is another one of the ones where they have a lot that's not Anthro. So I pick it up either way. Another one that the Real takes. And it's really expensive either way, but just because you find it doesn't mean it's Anthro. Which is kind of most of these, I feel like. Some of them are only at Anthro, but like most, I feel like can be either.
Yeah.
But yeah, so those are 10 Anthro brands that you probably had never heard of.
I know, you've heard of them.
Were Anthro. We have the idea of possibly doing a 10 shoe brands
that would be
are
fun.
sold at Anthro that you didn't know about. So if you are interested in that, let us know below. And be sure to subscribe and like this video if you liked it and learned anything. And yeah, thank you for watching.
Toodles, poodles.
Bye.